Welcome, deviant drivers, to another episode of A Drink with a Driver. As you can see, we're closing in on St. Patty's Day, so I'm joined with a leper. It's Junkai with us as co-host. So, Junkai, how's it going?
We're good. We're good. Yes, we are. We do St. Patty's Day in force. I've got a beer fest lined up in Atlanta that we are going to hit up on Saturday. So just trying to get in the feel of it. And yesterday was my birthday, so everyone, thanks for the wishes yesterday. I appreciate that. So yeah, still trying to party like I'm 20. I can. I just don't recover that well. So push it. But yeah, so we got all the bling on, got a nice little fancy hat. This shirt just came in through Amazon literally like 10 minutes ago.
What did you
And
do
we're
to
good
get the
to
beads?
go. That's private, my friend. That's private. Whatever I did, just know I did it 4 times. Yeah. We
Uh,
should have them where they just automatically pop up on your neck somehow. And then
okay.
left wondering how we did that. So
Right, right, right.
yeah, no, we're good. It's freaking spring finally. The weather's getting nice. Daylight savings time is kicking my butt for some reason.
Yeah, mine too. I mean, it's tough to get used to, but I love it the fact that when you come home, it's not dark, at the end of the day. It's like you got that extra time. It actually feels like you have a little bit of an afternoon left when you
I
get home.
mean,
It's not
I,
depressing.
I put pre-emergent down today, tested all my sprinkler system, mowed the grass front and back. I mean, it is nice, but yeah, I think daylight savings time maybe a nipped Berman this weekend because he showed up in our lobby when we were on safety car. And that was a late safety car. And that sucked. I saw his name pop up and I even uttered, I was like, oh, Berman. I felt bad. I asked him in chat. He never responded. So I can only assume that's what it was. We tried to put out as much notification as possible,
It
but
gets someone every year.
it does. It does. So it is what it is. So cheers to St. Patty's Day. Not even drinking beer. We have an old fashioned today, legitimate old fashioned with a blood orange cherry with Woodford Reserve.
Mm.
We're celebrating uh no Skyline chili discussions. We don't have to talk about beans for 12 minutes. Uh, so we're just going to move through this today. But I mean, in the Discord today, they're already asking for the podcast. Now, obviously, Boost is asking because he wants us to talk about, where he finished. We're not going to really talk about it though. We're just going to just bypass that altogether and piss him off. No, I'm not mad though. I'm not mad. So, how was
There
your
you go.
race? Yeah, I know.
The
Freaking
race wasn't bad. I mean, I was really, I think Grand Valley had everybody really nervous about the track, and we had all been freaking out and talking about it for basically 2 weeks about how terrible this was going to go. And you kind of but it really wasn't as bad as I'd expected. So I had kind of a nondescript race. I mean, I didn't really have any big problems. I mean, I spun once on the sand, but no big deal. It was early on, didn't really change anything.
hmm
Um, Pit stops went, about where they, were going to go. I had a pretty good strategy laid out. It really, it wasn't too complicated.
What'd you
And
run?
well, as far as it was medium, medium soft. So, I mean, it was fine. It was no big deal. It wasn't all that overly dramatic, as not what I was anticipating. How about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. We all went in this pretty apprehensive with just how complicated of a track this is. Plus, most drivers are not as familiar with this track as we can say about Daytona or Red Bull Ring or any of those tracks. I will say this is my weakest track, just knowledge base of never racing it before. And I think I even asked during practice where we actually started the race because I never paid attention. Because, sometimes there's start finish lines and you start like way off or something like that, which is weird. And so I didn't even know we were going to start. I didn't really pay attention to positioning. So, but yeah, I mean, just the complications of the track and all of the switchbacks and all the turns and the elevation changes, I really thought was going to wreck our day. But honestly, I'll say most everyone drove pretty well. I know we were talking before we got on here just a little while ago, but even after the safety car restart, which I had a horrible restart, but everyone just stayed in line. It was actually really cool to watch that everyone just kind of got in line, and for a couple laps until everyone started to space out a little bit, everyone just kind of stayed, all within a couple seconds of each other. No huge trying to pass. Um, Everyone just stayed in line. I think everyone pretty much had a decent race. Couple snafus here and there. I know I screwed up a couple times, but I mean, all in all, yeah, like it was good in that regard. GT4 was a little bit different, but that's to be expected. I mean, we are, the reason we classed the way we did, obviously, is to put drivers, around their peers. So, being it was a complicated track, we kind of anticipated it. And GT4, it showed itself a little bit, but it's just because of some of the experience. But I mean, they knuckled down and pushed through. So all in all, they had some great battles still.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Coming out of the restart, was probably the most nerve-wracking part for GT3 that I had. I was like, I didn't know how that was going to go. And it all went pretty smooth and everybody kind of got to turn one and everybody
Mhm.
just kind of sorted it out. I mean, it was one of the smoothest restarts we've had
Mhm.
on one of the tracks that you would anticipate it to not be.
Yeah, I wasn't so concerned with turn one. I was concerned about the downhill S.
Yeah.
Uh,
The back and
Everyone,
forth. Yeah.
right, exactly. I was thinking, because it's such a high speed, and if you're too close to somebody, you lose that downforce and you kind of just understeer a little bit. And again, everyone stayed in line. No one tried to outbrake the switchback and gain a position. I mean, it was definitely cool to watch. Thanks to Cam, it was definitely cool to watch with the softcore music and and the different views. But he did a hell of a job with recording that and flipping back and forth with everything. And he caught one of the best passes we've ever seen with the safety car in Preston passing Besso. I mean, on the outside too. Like that was impressive, passing the way he did. So
Tough move.
it wasn't tough, and I mean, and Besso just let it happen. You know, Besso always
Yeah,
says, "You got to pass me on the outside." Sure enough.
you did.
So,
Yes,
but
thank you, Cam, for
mhm.
picking up the filming. I think everybody really prefers that. Not that
Yeah,
I minded ever doing it. I know that it was getting a little bit boring, literally watching a first person view off the hood for an hour. So yes, thank you, Cam, for volunteering and picking that up and doing that. That makes
did you
things
hear what?
really cool.
Did you hear what they were calling him in GT4?
No, what'd they call him?
One of the perks of having Silo literally right next to me. Uh, the funny thing is I'm looking straight this way and he's on my left looking the opposite way. So my TV's here, his TV's over here. And he just, again, just starts chuckling. They're calling him Cam the cameraman or something to that effect. But yeah, so
Uh,
you get all the nice little highlights, and especially when they're watching the stream and someone screws up and they start chuckling and all that. So if someone runs out of fuel or something, like they just start harping. So
yeah.
yeah, was it? I'll ask this though: was it easier not having pop-ups or anything? Did you notice a huge difference between your stream and non-stream racing?
Yes. Yes,
Yep.
because it definitely, when you're doing it yourself and driving, you can't help but watch things. I mean, even when people pop in and out of a lobby,
Yep.
when Berman was late to that day, you notice those things and you can't help but look at them. And while I like that I want as much participation, that's what we do it for, is for comments during the stream. I want as much conversation going back and forth as possible. Honestly, guys, I would love to do the streamer thing and talk about it with you guys, but there's absolutely no way I'm coordinated enough to form reasonable thoughts, drive a competitive race, and read comments that are popping up on the
You
screen all
know,
at the same time.
so you think about it. I mean, you can obviously relate to it. Is you think about all these top end YouTube streamers that sit there and I mean, with Key, for example, when anyone pops up, he's like, hey, tag in, he's a legend, spam this, whatever. I don't watch him often, but I mean, the fact that he's watching all that stuff while racing and still continues to be insanely fast. Yeah.
You see that a lot with those guys, Jimmy Broadbent, all those guys, same thing. And
Mhm.
you don't they make it look so easy that it seems like it would be easy, casual conversation, kind of like we're doing right now. But when you think about just how locked in and concentrated
Mhm.
you get on a race, that then you're trying to read comments, but not only read them, but be able to understand them,
Yeah.
follow a line of conversation, and then carry on a conversation with it at the same
No.
time is it's hard.
Dude, I'm like a squirrel. Something changes on the screen that's not supposed to be there. I'm like, what was that? What was
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
I hate it. Like, I appreciate what Preston does, and when he signs out of the lobby after running safety car, it pops up. I'm like, what was that? And then I'm like, all right, focus, 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 focus. So yeah, no, I get it. We all appreciate what you have done
Uh,
for it, but it was nice to get a different camera angle and see some of that racing from different perspectives. I mean, I never would have seen Bad Rock's celebration at the end of the race, which I know was just his own way of really getting in his own head and comic, trying to bring some humor to his own position finish. But I enjoyed seeing that. I was
well,
actually cracking up when he did
I
that.
think he was celebrating. He's out of the relegation at the current spot right now where he
He
sits.
is, and yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that then. So
Okay.
first off, let's hit up the finish. So I was in second, um, Floody in third, right? Floody with his second
Well, did we talk
podium.
about first? Where are we going? We got to talk about who got first. What
So
team were they on?
fourth was Besso. So third and fourth was Volkswagen. I mean, that's a hell of a job between the two of those guys. Again, in the Volkswagen, seventh gear. It's got little eyelashes on the headlights.
They're
It's got the
cute.
little flower sticking up on the dashboard.
Yeah, it's a cute car.
It is
Well,
cute.
I
It's
mean,
very cute. Kiatica
it
took fifth. You took sixth.
I did.
Zen in seventh. Tex in eighth, who stole fastest lap with not a whole lot of time left, but he put up a hell of a lap with 147.4. K2, again, welcome back, sir. Took ninth and Badrock in 10th. We missed a couple guys. We had Nismo out. Glovis was in New York eating some of the finest food in the country. And then Berman slept in.
Tex took away your fastest lap run.
Yeah, Cam and I
You
had
got
this.
robbed this weekend just all the way around, didn't you? I love it.
Yeah. Were you still on the chat when they started heckling me after all that?
Uh, I might have been, or I might have tuned
I
out to
can't
go to
remember who
GP4.
said it. I know Floody chimed in at some point. But one of them said, we're glad you did not get fastest lap. We're also glad you didn't win this weekend. And there was a lot of collective bitterness amongst quite a few of them. And I felt that. Oh, and Boost took first. Boost took first too.
Yes,
So
yes, he did on Team AMG. Yes, he did take first.
he did
So,
take first. He
you
did take
know,
first. Yeah.
well done, Boos.
Uh, No, he did. I'm screwing around. He did have a great race. I enjoyed racing with him this race. I think this is the closest we've raced over the season, at least. This is his best win, best finish. Up until this point, he's only had third once, fourth after that, and then besides that, he's been towards the bottom of racing. So, no, he did a great job. He obviously practiced during the whole circuit experience and challenging those guys. And I think the internal challenges in the Discord are starting to piss me off because people are getting better. I don't like it. But he did a good job. He screwed up twice, boosted. I screwed up twice. He screwed up before the safety car twice. I screwed up once before the safety car and once after the safety car. And it was enough that I could not track him down. And that's all there was to it.
Was
So,
it, or did you catch the sand?
um, so the first one, where did I screw up the first time? I hit the wall. That's what it was. When you are after you go through all of the infield and you get onto the bridge, I
Mhm.
tagged the hell out of that wall. Matter of fact, Cam caught it. Thanks, Cam, for showing that. Uh, destroyed, destroyed the wall, and then just boost took off. And then the second time was the restart, and I just did not have grip whatsoever. Rear end on that car was all over the damn place. Floody about hit me. It wasn't his fault. It was my fault because I was just like, I could not keep it on the road to the point where I got out of sorts, pulled over to the left. I let Boost by. I mean, he had the speed, so it's not that I let him. I just stayed off and didn't try to cover. Um, and then after that, like they just kept moving and I just could not run them down. And he was on softs, I was on mediums. I was hoping that his tires were going to die, and they did. They did on lap like 29 going into 30. And it was overcast for a little bit of the end of the race. So I don't know if he got a little bit more off his softs, but I mean, I came down from a 4 or 5 second split down to 7/10, but it just wasn't enough to cover it. And, he did well. So
Yep.
he did
Yep.
well. But there was like 4 or 5 laps nonstop where it was just we were within a tenth of each other the whole time. Like,
So there was similar battle, which we'll talk about in GT4, and so both GT3 and GT4 had their respective battles at the front for long periods
mhm.
of time. So
Yeah.
that made it interesting.
One thing that I noticed on the stream that was really cool is um, when you were coming downhill through all those little S's, and when he was in it wasn't third person, but the perspective view, it would just like zoom out and you would see the ocean in the background and then the cars. Like it was just cool to watch. I mean, it's a very scenic track, at least for that, you know. Um,
Cinematically, probably the definitely the best track we've run this season, and probably one of the best tracks for that in the
mhm.
game, even.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was cool.
it's great. So, yeah, there's some great camera angles in both the GT3 and GT4 with everything. So, yeah, some really good shots.
Yeah,
So,
but again, I mean, overall GT3, I mean, everyone ran well.
mhm,
I mean, I think everybody hates those last two turns before you get on that final straight heading towards the start finish line. And
mhm.
to hell with the pit entrance.
What's wrong with the pit entrance?
You can't see the damn thing.
No, you can't. No, you're blinded coming out of the tunnel.
Yeah, like
You just
thankfully,
have to know it's there.
yeah, thankfully the pit line isn't too far out. But dude, like it's a shot in the dark trying to get into that stupid thing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you really come out. I mean, you know the road goes straight coming out of the tunnel. You just kind of aim for the light and go.
right.
And if you know where the pit entrance is, it's really a pretty easy straight shot in there. But yeah, I mean, you can't see anything coming out of that tunnel.
No,
Nothing.
no. So and even and in addition to that, I mean, some of the penalty zones on this track were definitely difficult as well. I mean, there was a lot of areas you could pick up penalties. So even though we did well there, I mean, it's still a complicated track.
So let's talk about the leaderboard. Obviously, you're still holding on to top position because you've had 4 victories this year.
I
Or
haven't had four. I've had two.
that's right, two
Two.
victories. 2 victories with 4 fastest laps. So you picked up 4 points with fastest lap, but only 4 because you didn't get this one. So 4. So good job, Boost. Good job, Tex.
Yeah. You know what, Boost? I'll give you a set of my beads.
There
Done.
you go.
There you Done.
Tex got fastest lap, so he should get a set of beads too.
Whatever.
There
You know
you
who's
go.
not getting a set of beads? You.
Me.
There we
Big
go.
surprise.
Beads. I still got 2 left. I gotta go earn some more. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Uh, so yes, you're still sitting in first place with 73 points for the season. Boost closed that gap just a little bit with his win at Grand Valley. So he's setting second at 50 points.
Yeah, he moved up 3 positions, which is, and that's again, we talk about it every time. All it takes is one good finish, whether it's first, second, or third, and you just launch up so many different positions. So, 3 position move is huge.
Well, there's so many, it's so many points. There's drivers with a half. I mean, right here, looking at fourth, fifth, and
Mm-hmm.
sixth, they all have 39 points.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's very, very close in the middle there, where literally, like you're saying, a podium finish in there can really change that and boost you, catapult you from down lower middle to upper middle, low top. I mean, one race. So
Yeah.
it's anybody's game right now. Rounding out the top 3 is Floody,
Mm-hmm.
which he has done phenomenal coming out of GT4 and coming up to now
It's
the podium.
definitely impressive that you go back 2 seasons ago
Mm-hmm.
when he was before we split the league and everything, and where Floody was really landing was, yeah, I'd have to go back and check, but he was more like 8th to 12th.
Right.
But I'm in GT4, starts doing better, gets the itch, dominates, didn't win Interlagos. He brought that up today. And then like comes back to GT3 and freaking holds 3rd place.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
It is. It is. He's sitting in 3rd place with 44 points, so 6
Mm-hmm.
behind Boost. And then like I say, going down 4th, 5th, and 6th is Besso, Nismo, and Texas Speed, all with 39 points respectively.
Yep.
So we'll see what we got. 3 races to go. Next one is Dragon Trail Seaside with the Death Chicane. So
Long
that'll be
season.
interesting. So yes, so we got a little ways to go. And a lot's gonna change. And like we mentioned, Bad Rock, I think he was celebrating coming out of the relegation line because he is now sitting above it.
I think that is a better way to put his celebration at the end of the race, was getting out of relegation. No,
Right.
that's appropriate. I like that.
Yeah.
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 So you got Chaotica in 7th, 36, Zen at 31 and 8th. You sitting in 9th with 29. Glovis 25 and 10th, Bad Rock in 11th, again above that relegation line. K2 Mars sitting below relegation and 12th, excuse me, because he's new to the league. And then Berman, mainly just because he's missed 2 races, he's sitting below that line. So we know what Berman's capable of. So whoever's sitting in 9th, 10th, and 11th, that also includes you, sir. All it takes is Berman just finding a track that he knows. Red Bull Ring, Road Atlanta, possibly Dragon Trail here coming up. And then you guys shuffle back down. Oh shit.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, nobody's safe. I mean, the point separation there is not so great that one excellent race or 2 good races or 2
Mm-hmm.
just strong races can catapult you up, and that knocks everybody else down. So nobody's safe just yet. So we still got enough to go that things are going to change around, orders are going to swap.
Yeah.
So
I
so
think I think that Audi is, I think they're past the tracks that were kind of detrimental to them. You know, going
yeah.
into Dragon Trail, There's a couple iffy turns that they can get some oversteer, but you get to Road Atlanta, especially like Red Bull Ring. They may
How
put up.
aggressive are guys with points where it is, with where
I
points
know.
are where they're sitting in GT3? How aggressive are guys going to be specifically at the death chicane?
Uh-huh. I mean,
Because two people are not coming out of that.
no, we talked about it last time. You go in with two, you don't come out with two.
No, you will not make it.
Nope. And you may take someone out with you when you try, so who knows?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eh, we posted the rules. We'll talk about those in a little bit, but I mean, it's do you want to drive out of relegation through the rest of the season, or do you want to put it all on one race to get out of it, to get back into GT3? So, I don't know. We'll see. But I'll say this. I mean, at the start of the season, you would think, GT3 drivers are pretty confident that they could beat GT4 drivers. One, Floody's proved that wrong. Two, what you've seen out of Cam, Dirksy being from GT3 to begin with, and then what Preston's doing. Yeah, there's no guarantees this season at all. None, which
No.
is so exciting. So fucking so great. So all right. Anyway, GT4. Do you have
GT4.
anything else on GT3? Do you want to talk about your strategy? Mine was medium, medium, soft. Katika put together another wonderful strategy. This is the first time I've never had to put strategies together.
Nice.
I've been very appreciative of Chaotica with that. So it worked. And I mean, he's doing good too. He's doing good too. Again, one simple race and he's up in fourth place. So good stuff. But yeah, that's all I got for GT3. I mean, there was definitely some good battles, but overall, again, we said it. I mean, it was just a clean day, not a whole bunch of frustration. A couple comments personally to themselves on how they were driving. I know I was muted and I was beating myself up on some of those things. So, but overall, I mean, it was a stand-up day. Everyone did a good job, and everyone was courteous. And I saw K2 bumped you once
Mhm.
on one of the turns, and then he gave the position back up. So
Yeah.
again, for him being new, you know, he's catching on and just has that courteousness, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. GT4 is a bit different. It was a bit more chaotic of a day. It was a lot closer of racing. Definitely some entertaining moments. But there were some similar themes. I mean, the guys that were in the front, just like in GT3, battled all day in GT4, just like up front, you and Boost. I mean, it had a lot of similarities as well as differences. So let's start off with the finishing order. Cam finished first, and fastest lap. So he's actually had fastest lap on every single race. So he's actually done better than Junkai in his respective class. So congratulations. Well
Hats,
done.
my hats off. I tip the hat. The game within the game that we were playing, he won. Yeah, not
Yeah.
happy. I blame it on Tex. And yeah, I always said the Genesis was the meta there, and Tex proved that right. So
His fastest lap time for the day of 1:56.635.
yeah, no, he did great there. So
So second was Huge Jar.
mm-hmm.
Third,
Yeah.
Preston. Fourth
Mm-hmm.
was Dirksy. Dirksy had a rough. We'll talk about it in a second. He had a rough pit stop.
Mm-hmm.
That late pit stop really got him. Fifth was Thrasher. Thrasher hanging in there,
Mm-hmm.
just quietly puffing on a vape, driving away.
I know. I still I miss someone needs to start vaping in GT3 because I miss Thrasher. So that's all it is.
Sixth was Anatole. Seventh was Lalo. Four was Hippie. Ninth was Sully. 10th, Rutaz. welcome. You Rutez.
Yes,
That was
welcome to the league, sir.
yeah,
First drive of the league. He appeared to do well. I mean,
top 10.
top 10. Yeah.
Yep. 11th was Devin, 12 Kuros, and 13th Silo. So they had a few more drivers than we had.
They did. I'm laughing because you know, we all know each other. Well, Kuros Sky knows all of us and Silo, and they know each other really well. And Silos gets so pissed when Kuros Sky beats him every single time. And Kuros Sky just, I don't know if you watch these, but keep it up because I love hearing the bitching. It's good stuff. No, welcome Rutaz. We're just gonna call you Ru. That's the easiest way to do it. No, again, it was a little shaky for this race. Um, Cam grabbed pole. He asked about the trifecta today on Glovis's stat reporting. If we follow or track any of the trifectas, which is being on pole, grabbing fastest lap, and winning. So he's kind of over there just like popping his collar. Hey, you guys tracking that information over there with the things that I'm doing over here? So he needs to go talk to his brother-in-law because he's the one that tracks all that crap and see if he can't square that away. It is what it is. But he grabbed pole. Dirksey was second. Again, it was down to the wire. And then Anatole, I don't know how he's done the rest of the season. I can't remember, but being on pole, I mean, again, those stupid circuit experiences that these guys are doing is driving me crazy. But Anatole again just keeps just slowly chugging along the lines and moving up.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean he did well though, but a couple guys had tough starts. I know Preston had a tough start. He was kind of all over the place. I do know he changed his camera angle for this race.
Oh, did he? What did he change it to or
He
from?
changed from bumper cam to, oh, excuse me, from hood cam to bumper cam.
Okay.
So he and I were talking over the course of the week. He asked me some questions. I gave him some pointers via Discord, and he jumped on it. I don't know if it was the best track to start on, but kudos to him. And he was nervous about people being able to pass him. Um, just again, missing that rear view camera or mirror, whatever,
Yeah.
and being able to defend. So, but
Yeah.
he had a tough go at the beginning there. But he stayed resilient and was able to kind of push his way back up the top and what took third. Yeah.
Well, it was almost a flip-flop of races. Usually GT4 is the calmer, kind of smoother racing. We see a whole lot of aggressive moves in GT3 and
Mm-hmm.
things happening. This weekend was the complete opposite. These guys came out of the gate
Mm-hmm.
making moves on anything that existed. I mean, they tried to get the car skinny and make into whatever was available.
Yeah.
Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Yep.
But there was a whole lot. It looked a lot like a typical GT3 race as opposed to a typical GT4 race, and exciting nonetheless. I think they had fun even being Grand Valley. So, um, you
No,
know,
it's true. I mean, you know, like you were talking about earlier, Dirksey and Cam ran pretty much the entire race side by side. Matter of fact, Dirksey, I think, probably had more laps under his belt in first place than Cam did. Obviously, it only matters when he crossed the finish line. But Dirksey stayed out front for a good portion of the entire race. Cam right on his butt too, like full on putting pressure on him. By the way, uh, Cam's livery was on point. Like I don't know if that's new or I just noticed it, but the whole black with the chrome
hmm that was cool.
decals, that was a cool
Yeah.
freaking livery. I don't know if he did it or Glovis did it. No, but you know, I still think it's funny that Silo has "I love Glovis" on his back windshield or back window. And I'm like, you could take that off, right? And he's like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. I try to get him to let me do it. because I'm just gonna put "I love Junkai" on the back. But yeah, dude, they were the same thing, just like bumper to bumper through all the switchbacks, everything like that. It was tight race in between them.
They
And
were.
then
They were.
Preston got his wheels going again. He started moving up through it. Um, Huge Jar. This is his best finish of the season, taking second place. So kudos to him. I was proud of him for that. And like you said, Dirksey with the late pit. Um, yeah, he was trying to get on fresh tires, is what he said, in hopes that he could outlast. And
And
it's
and I
just
think if he had another 3 laps, he'd have made it. I mean, he was making some gains there. I don't remember exactly where he came out of the pits, but it was like along the
it was like
lines of
eighth
eighth or
position or
ninth or
something like
something.
that. Yeah,
And it was tough for him to get through people because this track is just hard to pass on. There's not
right.
many opportunities. You got to be careful about it. But he was making it where he had those opportunities to do it. It's just he ran out of time by he still got up to fourth, but
There's certain tracks that, in my opinion, you try to get out front and stay out front.
mhm.
Um, and I think that's what helped Jar out. Just knowing his strat, nothing against Cam, I just don't know what his intentions were. But what we talked about in our little group was, I reminded everyone just like, hey, try and get out front. I think it's going to be smarter to be out front. Um, Bathurst is the same way. Like, get out front, try and stay out front, because it's just a hard track to pass on. Huge Jar had hard tires as one of his strats. I don't know if many people did hard tires, but because he got out towards the front, he was able to stay out front. Dirksey did manage to move up to fourth place, which was great, but it's like you said, it was tough to kind of work through everybody at that same time. He did have a hell of a pass to get up to fourth place, though. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it, because it was, or you can post it right here. We're watching it right now. There we go. Looks good. So it was an exciting race, and some of the inexperience came through just because of such a technical track. And you know, it's
Yeah.
all part of racing. But I think everyone was courteous for the most part. I will say our IR channel was significantly less active this week as opposed to the previous freaking 3 or 4. So we thank all of you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a track that we kind of thought was going to go pretty badly for both leagues and be some serious issues, but
I still am dumbfounded how Sardinia B was the worst track for us.
I know I don't
I
it does
don't, I still think about that. Like, there's so many other tracks that, not Daytona. Daytona is pretty straightforward, but you know, Sardinia B was just the worst one. And I don't get it. I don't know, but it just was.
Well,
So
we will not be ruling on IRs that involve anything to do with the death chicane. So if you post one about the death chicane, we're just ruling it a racing incident. Just kidding, guys. If it's something dumb or something happens, post it anyway. We'll look at it. Whatever.
I'll give you a set of
Um,
beads if you don't, though. You don't even have to flash me. I'll mail them to you. I don't care. What are stamps nowadays? I don't even know. How much is a stamp? You mail checks to your bills. How much are stamps?
I don't know, like 60 some cents or something
Are they
like that.
really? Dude, last time I remember was like 23 cents.
It's not even $1. I mean,
Still. Do you work that into your budget, your stamps?
no.
No? You
Yeah,
just
do
have
you
all
think I
that?
budget for Fanatec stuff? No.
That's true. Good God, dude. What do you have now? You just bought some like number module thing or a button box. Is that what? That's right. You bought
Yeah,
a button box.
it's a button box. We're working on a
I got a button box.
we can, we're working on a video to make Bad Rock and I, and we're gonna put it together. If any of you guys have videos of your rigs you want to include, we'll do like a kind of a rig tour of members of the league. So, and I'll
I
include all this stuff and I'll put it on there.
I want to see a over cinematic view of someone's controller. Like I see Preston or Anatole just like fire and brimstone and just like all sorts and rain and just all sorts of things going on in the background, and it's just their controller because
It
that's
just appears out of the flames, like it
right.
comes up and that's it. Boom, cut,
Exactly.
done. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. If you guys can put that together. But if you guys do, if you want to film something, just put a video. Target is about 3 minutes. Send it, just send me a private message within the Discord. I'll give you an email address to shoot it over to, and you can just send it in an MPEG. So that I can put them all together a lot easier. So but yeah, we'll go through it. But it's basically just, this is a button box, but it's helpful for other racing outside of
Did you see the Volkswagen video I posted earlier in the week?
I don't think I did.
It was someone who had a legitimate like car dashboard,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and the speedometer worked, the tach worked on it, and it was first person. They were drifting through the streets and stuff like that. You need to go back and look at it. I think I posted it in pics and clips, and I tagged you in it honestly, and said this was your new rig, but obviously you don't care
Oh,
about.
that might have been the one I looked at. Was that when I commented that I'm just gonna go buy a wreck chassis and
Yeah,
sting it up
probably
there?
so. Yeah,
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 you
probably
know,
so. So,
we're
um,
almost there.
I mean, at some
Getting
point,
close.
that's what you're gonna have. The funny part is gonna be when you move all that stuff into the garage and your wife can't park in the garage anymore because your rig's there because
Ah,
it's
it's
a
too hot in the garage, man.
chassis. At times, I mean, tonight it's not. Tonight
No,
probably
tonight it's
is.
not. No,
Yeah,
tonight it's not.
it'll be fun. I'll install an AC in your garage. We'll get it done.
There you go.
Yeah,
Like you don't have enough side projects, and your knee's better now. So yeah, you could definitely take care of
I've
that.
got one more physical therapy left. And we're done.
Nice.
Friday.
So let's talk about the leaderboard.
Yes, let's do it.
GT4, Camzilla setting up top, 72 points. These points have kind of spread out a little bit from last week. We've been holding really close, like 1 or 2 point separation between these guys. Dirksey in second with 65, and Preston in third with 64. So all three of these guys still holding above the promotion line.
They're scrapping, man. It's gonna be so exciting to see who takes first and gets into GT3
Yep.
without having to race for it. That's gonna
Yeah.
be so cool.
Yep. Fourth, Huge Jar with 49. A two-way tie for fifth and sixth between Hippie Honda and Thrasher with 39 points each. Anatole sitting in seventh with 37. Sully, 32. Saito, 22. Lalo Kills in 10th with 20 points. Devin with 18 at 11. And Golden Oracle in 12th with 17 points. Kura Sky 13th with 14th points. And Silo 14th with 11 points.
One thing I just noticed, they've only had collectively 5 drivers have missed one race each. That's it. Everyone's just been committed, showing up every single weekend that it's time for GT4.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
They set their alarms, they get up, they do what they have to do. Like that, they have minimal absences and they have filled their lobbies more than we have in GT3, which is not a good look. But
not a good
kudos.
example.
Kudos to that. Yeah. Well, team-wise, Lexus is still sitting on top, 187. We had a good showing again. We took second, third, no wait, second, fourth, and fifth. So we did decent we took 41 points for this weekend. VW did better than we did this weekend and took 45 points with Cam winning, and then Besso and Floody getting third and fourth. They grabbed 45 points. They're sitting at 155 total. Team Ford dropped down one slot to 134. Team AMG starting to creep up. If Mercury starts creating some stuff, maybe move up a little bit more. Sitting at 116, Team Toyota at 86, Team Genesis at 82, and then Team Audi, the Audi boys at 72 points overall. So shake and bake.
Shake and bake. And talking about that promotion and relegation line, like we mentioned, we've got the top three in GT4, and
So recap it real quick.
yeah. So
We dropped the rules, right? So we didn't want any
Yep.
surprises this season. We wanted everyone to know what they were heading into. So if you want to start practicing, you know the track, you know the potential cars that could obviously change. And because GT4 needs to topple GT3, they got to do it in a GT3 car. But
so
you have the floor, sir.
yes, so the GT3, GT4 promotion and relegation race. So the tracks, well, one track will be Circuit Day Barcelona Catalunya, the no chicane version. So you're welcome for that.
Yeah, we
30,
did talk about that.
30 minutes. It's going to be late morning random weather, but it can't rain at Barcelona, so there's no real threat there.
Yep.
And like we mentioned, is out of the GT4 guys, whoever is setting in the first position gets that golden ticket into GT3.
I got a golden ticket.
Yeah. So, which as it stands today, right now, that would be Camzilla. And that would leave to go to the relegation promotion race would be Dirksey and Preston and K2 Mars and Berman. Those four would go and race in the promotion relegation race. So if we pick up somebody else for GT3, then we will, have another slot to fill. And we might have a driver, I think, that qualified, but we'll leave that.
Yeah, we'll announce that.
We have that all nailed down. So at any rate, these drivers will go in and race, and the top drivers in the slots will get the slots into GT3. So
top two.
Right.
Top two.
2 out of 4 or 2 out of 5, depending on how many
right
we got.
Couple differences between that and what we typical run is there's no tire requirement.
Right. You're welcome for that, by the way.
Whatever you want. Fuel and tire management is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then you can only choose a GT3 car of what drivers are sitting in relegation. So right now it's Audi and Toyota.
Audi and Toyota would be your picks as of today.
Right. And even the GT3 guys, like if Berman were to make it, he could drive the Toyota. He could get his ass out of the Audi.
Right.
If you wanted to.
If you wanted to.
Which I would assume he would.
And then there will be safety cars, but it's going to be a little bit different. Since we have so few cars on the track, we'll have no more than 5 to be specific. There will be 2 stewards or race directors of that race. Those 2 race directors will each be in charge of watching 2 of the drivers, which we will assign as admins between us. Their responsibility rests solely on watching those 2 drivers throughout the race, which covers basically the whole field at any given point and allows them to watch for any contacts, issues, or things that arise. Safety car will come out for accidents. If you individually run off the track and spin out, we're not pulling a safety car out. Just get it back on the track safely and continue on. If an accident between cars happens, then we'll call a safety car. Race directors will call and will be the only ones to call for safety car. They'll make that call over the radio, which will be just the drivers, the safety car driver, and your stewards or your race directors. That's all that's going to be on those comms. Nobody else. And so you will get the safety car call, and then we'll handle safety car like we do every other safety car. Yep. There will be as many safety cars as we need too. So keep it in mind that, you can eat up
within reason.
Within reason that we dictate. Yes. But just keep in mind that making this strategy, you only have 30 minutes, so you have half as long as you do in a typical GT3, GT4 race, but you're still going to have a safety car around Catalonia, most likely, maybe not, hopefully not, I guess. And your restarts will work just the exact same way. And then,
It's a tough track.
and no incident reports. We're going to adjudicate it all on the
Mhm.
track on the day. So we
Yeah,
dictate a penalty as
besides
needed.
yeah, besides safety car, the other adjudication that happens live is give the position back. So you dive bomb somebody, bump them out of the way, take position, and we see it as an illegal pass,
Mhm.
give the position back or a roll through the pits. But hopefully none of that's going to happen. We're just explaining everything. So it's going to be fun though. And the best part that nobody anticipated, and now we're going to hold them to it because it's in writing in Discord, is Floody and Zen being actual commentators throughout the YouTube stream, which I don't even want to be a steward now. I just want to watch that
I
because
know.
that's going to be freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
One, because the two of them know each other really well.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be great. But then just the two different personalities and giving them their their opportunity. That's gonna. I'm excited. This is now going to be the norm. I hope they know this. That is going to be what the expectations are going forward. So it's going to be like you don't watch football, but they're yeah, whatever. I'm not even talking about it. The Manning brothers broadcast Monday Night Football separately than ESPN. I'm talking to everybody else. You can just put earplugs in because it's going to be the same damn thing as what I'm talking about now. Whatever. But that's going to be fun. That's going to be exciting. It's a whole new dynamic. We've never even gone down this path before. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. All right.
So,
So we got a couple things coming up, right? So we've
yep.
got the relegation rules posted. Mazda Cup with Camzilla now helping Besso out is coming out. They've chosen the RX-7, right?
Yep. Yep.
Are you
Yep.
racing in that?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to on occasion. It's a cool car. I like it. It's the tuned version. I forget what they call it. That
Mm-hmm.
specialty one looks really neat. So yeah, I'm good.
Track list is interesting. Track list is interesting. There was some bitching today about Blue Moon infield. Um, And then I can't remember who asked who picked that. And then Boost like dimed everybody out, took a screenshot of everyone who voted on it. And then we gave him hell for that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I don't, I mean, it's like everybody, if they don't like Blue Moon Infield. I mean, Blue Moon Infield's pretty innocent track. I mean,
I think it's just pretty straightforward.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not as great as a track as like Horse Thief Mile. That one separates
Well,
the men from the boys.
I don't know about that.
That's gonna be freaking hilarious to watch.
it's got to be the last one too, right? And then see,
Is
we
it
go
really
from
the
Blue
last
Moon
one?
Infield to the Nordschleife. Like we go from the easiest track,
Hey,
the easiest track, but
hey, we're not involved. That's the best thing. Is these guys are running with it. They make their own damn thing up. That's fine. I love every second
I
of
think
it.
they put
I'm
it to
not even.
vote, didn't they?
Everyone voted on this
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what they put it to vote.
Yeah.
So
It's not like Besso and Cam was like, "Hey, let's screw with these guys and make it as difficult as possible." This is what they. This is what you wanted. That's
yeah,
that's you blame
yeah.
yourselves on that one. So, and then lastly, we got Sunday Cup. You guys are running the Pantera
Sunday Cup with the
this
Pantera.
weekend.
Yep. Yep, there was a rule change that Chaotica posted the other day. We noticed
Mm-hmm.
in just final opening and testing. Looks like I don't know if it was something to do with the edits, but the PP got changed slightly with the last edit.
Really surprised you didn't catch that yourself. I mean, that's like your it's like your
Well,
thing is always checking the PP, making sure the PP's appropriate for the need.
I
Uh,
hadn't checked the Pantera PP, so I just kind of left the Pantera's PP where it was,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden the PP got bigger, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute,
Whoa,
what happened?
hey, I can't handle this. We gotta adjust this. You can't handle the bigger PP. I understand. Okay. All I
So
mean, I mean, it's the whole reason I'm not running. I mean,
we opened it up and we made a quick rule change. Just noted it's in the Discord under Sunday Cup. So we just kind of opened that up to make it a real easy rule change that you can just make it format. You don't have to try to match tire strategies or anything. Just put whatever you want on there, and that gives you the flexibility to get within the rules. Um, so yeah, so Sunday Cup coming up, and that's getting close to wrapping up this Sunday Cup. We've got one more after this, which is that Honda open wheel Formula One car from back in the day.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the RA 272, I believe it is. You
Yeah.
know, so that's purely stock, no team
Cool.
tuning or anything like that. Just grab one and go. So
Perfect. All right. So last question of the night. How you feeling about Dragon Trail? Scale of 1 to 10 on familiarity and your confident level in that track.
I like Dragon Trail. I
This
like
version?
Dragon.
Which one do you like better? This one or Gardens?
Um, I actually like this one better,
Yeah.
Seaside. The
Yep.
issue that I've got with it is that every time I've been in one in a public lobby, like a lobby A, B, C or something, uh, the death chicane has always got somebody that's not going to give up an inch. And it's like, even when you try to give up an inch, it's like, they just don't give you any room and it causes so many problems. So, for our guys, you know, fighting for that one position to get it is not going to be worth it. And if there's a group doing it ahead of you, you better let off and lag back a little bit, because if they start going and bouncing, they ping pong off those walls, you're able to be taken out as collateral damage. I mean, it could be like a massive
Oh my gosh.
something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like this track. I haven't raced it a lot, but we've raced it a couple times with just Sunday Cup stuff and things
Hmm.
like that. So I'm more familiar with this track than I was Grand Valley. So hopefully we can put a good showing together, but we'll see.
It's going to be interesting, and we'll see where the points shake out. Like I say, a lot of them are pretty close.
Past
And
the halfway point.
we are past the halfway point. Yep, we are on the downhill slide of this season. So only a few races left. I mean, it longest season we've had in any of the GT series, and coming to an end.
Drink.
So
Shouldn't be chugging
everybody
bourbon.
start practicing, get your strategies ready, practice going through the death chicane.
I mean,
And
they're already doing circuit experience like that started yesterday. Like one day after we just finished Grand Valley, they're already jumping on there.
do
So
you think
it's
PD notices, like, all of a sudden, like, random tracks, like on one night, like all of a sudden, like there's like all these people just practicing the random hell out
you
of
know what
circuit
hasn't
screens?
happened in a while is the daily races haven't coincided with our schedule in a while.
Yeah, I
Remember, it was
know.
like week after week that the daily races were kind of in tune with our schedule. Apparently we lost our mole. I don't know who that was. Um, we can make some assumptions at this point, but we're gonna leave that one. So but no, I'm good. It was a good weekend for racing. I enjoyed it. Still getting those, I still get the butterflies, you know. I was talking to Hiffy and what's it, Rue, and they were talking about being nervous. I was like, guys, we've been doing this for seasons, and every time I jump in that seat, ready to race, I still have that little anxiety, the little butterflies until we get going. And even before the restart, getting back off a safety car, it's like it starts getting a little fluttery again. So it's still cool. I still love the hell out of it. I wish I could race more, but you got a little 2-year-old running around, so it makes it a little difficult right now. Which Hiffy has a 2-year-old as well. We chatted about that
Oh,
the other day.
awesome. Excellent.
Yes. So, but it was a great weekend for racing. Happy St. Patty's Day to everyone. Be
Yep.
safe, drink responsibly. Uber, Lyft, great ways of getting around town. You guys don't care about any of this stuff, so I'm gonna just stop talking. Whatever. Go earn some beads.
Yeah,
Suckers.
go practice some circuit experience and well, depending on which team you're on or don't. I don't know. I don't know. Team AMG can practice circuit experience and rest
What's the
everybody.
last circuit experience you've done?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I got all the ones like I don't know, it might even been before that update where they changed the things and once I got the gold, I was like, I'm done. I'm not messing with it anymore.
You need to run a live stream of you trying to get your drift challenges done.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I
Just
could.
I think it'll be comical.
Okay. All
I
right.
think
Comment below if you want to see a live stream of me trying to drift.
Please
Um,
come. That'd be so freaking awesome.
yeah, if we get enough people that want to watch it, then yeah, maybe
If
I'll
we
do it.
get okay, I gotta think how many people
I'll,
we got. If we get 15 likes to this video, you've got to do it. That's half of our
okay.
league.
15 likes.
15 likes, and then you live stream the drift challenges that you still have not completed yet and have begged me to do for you.
Yeah, I just gave up on them. I was like,
Yes.
screw this, I can't do it. I was gonna
Force
have you do it on the
feedback
controller.
10.
Force feedback. You said force feedback on whatever. That's not gonna make any difference.
I just want to see.
I'll put the camera over one shoulder, one of the two in the rig. I'll figure something out that will make it look cool.
Hell yeah. This is good. This is good. When is April Fool's Day? I think that'd be a good day to stream if it's a weekend.
It's
Let
a
me check this
Monday.
real quick. It's a Monday?
Yes.
That's stupid. We can do Monday. That's fine.
Take off work.
Instead of streaming a podcast, we can just watch you uh all over the place. Besso's gonna be just like dying inside watching you just murder
I know.
any part of your
He'll be typing all kinds of Spanish, like telling me how to drive.
I know.
Verde, 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 verde.
Yeah. All right, I'm good.
All right, guys.
Good job, everyone.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.